No, that's all right. Ugh, I just got done doing chores, so no better time than now, right, to shoot this thing. So, yeah. Hi. I'm Garrett Roberson, owner of HMR Custom Woodcraft out of Heartland, Michigan. What I want to do with HMR Custom Woodcraft is create high-end custom furniture for anybody and everybody that's interested in my work or having something that is, heirloom quality. They can pass it down to their kids or their grandkids, something that's built to outlast us all, that I can be proud of, that they can be proud to have, and something that really, represents, I think, a mindset that is starting to come back into society, which is, not something from, the big box stores, but something that really is unique to you and possibly, your personality, your lifestyle. And my hope is that I become, one of the people in this area and beyond who is trusted to provide that service. So what I focus on at HMR is kind of taking the whole project from start to finish. Meeting with the customer, going over what it is they want to make, any potential ideas they might have for, things they saw online or things they saw at, a museum or in someone else's home. And I try to bring that to life in the best way possible. I primarily focus on woodworking, but I am capable in all sorts of different medias: steel, welding, fabrication, sewing, leatherwork, things like that. Whatever it takes to make that dream come to life is really what I try to focus on. And I think the thing that might set me apart from a lot of other furniture makers, at least in the area that I know of, is that kind of start to finish process. I've spent the last 15 years working in industrial design, so I'm very familiar with 3D modeling softwares and can usually provide some kind of model that will give you a very good visual representation of what you are looking for and what I hope to achieve. And there's a lot of back and forth with that, which I really enjoy. I really like kind of hearing what people want, what they're looking for, what they get excited about. I know I personally get really excited in the design process. It's something that I take a lot of pride in, and I really go about it from a direction of, okay, you like this and you like this. How can I put my own spin on that, give you what you want, but still have it come out to be something that I'm proud to have made, and that I'm even more proud to give to my customer and have them just, be overjoyed with it. How did I get started in woodworking? Well, I think it would probably have to be more like, how did I get started making stuff? I'm 42 now. When I was 6 or 7, my mom taught me how to sew on her Singer sewing machine. And I remember she taught me to sew without thread on a piece of notebook paper, and when I could sew a straight line on the paper, when I could follow the blue line on the white paper, I could sew. And I remember her working with me to make a pair of shorts, and I think I stitched on like some kind of like a dinosaur or something that we cut off of a piece of fabric, and I sewed it onto a shirt. I don't know. I was very little. But that really kind of started it all. I loved the idea that I could take something that was, a raw material, at the time, like fabric, and turn it into something I could use, something that had purpose. It really kind of ignited that passion in me for really making anything, working with my hands, being creative. I really got a lot of that from my mom. And, the first woodworking project I ever did was about that same time in my uncle's workshop. He was the first person to ever just kind of say, you can go in my shop and there's a hammer and some nails and there's some scrap pieces of wood under the bench. So, just go nuts. And I remember I made a little airplane. It was like a little biplane. And the thing I was most proud of was that I, hammered a kind of propeller into the nose of this piece of wood, and I didn't hammer it so tight that you could still spin it. And that to me was just really cool. So from there, I've always kind of been making something. I stuck with sewing for a very long time. Made my own clothes, made bags, messenger style bags, things like that. And, when I went away to college and I was in the engineering program, I really dove into metalwork quite a bit. I had, just kind of intro to metals, and that kind of reignited that passion I had for making things. And I really pursued that for quite some time. And then, life comes and you get into things and you go back and forth with stuff. And it really wasn't until about 4 years ago now, I think, that I did my first woodworking project for a customer. And that was a walnut dining table, so for some good friends of mine, that was for their RV. So it was really just a flat panel, and there really wasn't a whole lot to it. But it was the first thing where I really was like asked to provide that service, and then just said, here's what we want. You just kind of take it from there and, give us something that serves the purpose and works. And, at the time my shop was nothing more than just a table in my basement and a circular saw and, I don't know, some a $50 palm sander or something. It really wasn't much of anything. But from that, I made what I think now still is just this beautiful walnut panel that I shaped into the table that they put in their RV. And it wasn't so much the process of doing it. I mean, I really loved figuring it out, doing all the grain matching, all the little minutia that normal people would probably think is just exhausting. But what really did it for me was when I delivered the table. I had never really felt that kind of joy and fulfillment than I felt when I gave my friends this table and they were just, blown away by it. Even though to me, I saw nothing but flaws and I knew how basic it was, and I knew that I was just a beginner and it, a professional probably would see it and laugh. But that sense of I provided this thing to these people and it serves a purpose and it filled a need, really just lit a fire in me that I don't think I've ever felt before. And if you look behind me, you can see I'm a drummer, and I've played thousands of shows for thousands of people, and I've had some really great times with some really high highs, but it was just this thing that kind of overwhelmed me when I delivered this table and we put it in. That really got me going in woodworking, and I kind of haven't stopped since. What am I working on currently? I am, about to embark on the biggest project I've ever done. And what that is a entire room at the McPherson Mansion in Howell, Michigan, made out of a 150-year-old red oak that came down in front of the mansion last fall. I'm doing a conference room table, a bow front sideboard or buffet, and a book pedestal, and it'll all be made from the one tree. It's been a real learning experience in that I've had to go from, removal of the tree to working with a mill to get it sawn into usable lumber and live edge slabs, and then go through the whole drying process and things of that nature. But it took a lot of design work. It took a lot of back and forth with a customer that wasn't a friend, and that was a lot of learning for me as well, in that I was able to kind of understand how to communicate, kind of get my designs in such a way that a person who may not be familiar with, purchasing custom furniture could really start to see things come to life and really understand, what I was trying to achieve, but also me understand what they hoped to see in the end. And it was a really great process that I learned a lot from. And, I'm coming up on the time when I'll receive the first load of lumber from the kiln. And I guess my hope is that you guys will come along with me on this journey of building this furniture over the next few months. And in the long run, what I really hope, obviously, is that this furniture kind of kicks off HMR Custom Woodcraft into a business that isn't just something I do on nights and weekends. It's something where I can pursue it full time and really become a true furniture maker. I mean, I say that with so much respect and admiration for people who do this for a living. Some of the greatest people I've ever met are woodworkers, and just kind of craftsmen and craftswomen in general. But something about the woodworking community to me is really, really something great. I've gotten so much support from people that I had just met, people who've been building custom furniture for many years, are always open to talk and lend advice and just, shoot the shit about woodworking and all of the kind of silliness that comes along with it that most people don't want to hear or listen to. But if I could, use this McPherson Mansion project as kind of the jumping off point for this business, it would be a total dream come true.